so you can picture like this, all of these different fish floating around out there and being moved around by these big waves and so on. Do you think that any one of those fish is capable of thinking that they're doing the wrong thing? That they should be nibbling over at this coral instead of that piece of coral, or they should have gone right instead of left, or they should have gone up instead of down? Can you imagine any creature other than human beings using their mind that way?
No, not at all.
Yeah. And, you're part of nature, too. So, like, all of these inclinations for you to, you try something, it doesn't work. You try something else, it doesn't. And then something else grabs your attention, and it's like I'm reading a novel right now. It's called Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, which I recommend to everyone. It's about the Middle Ages. Yeah, it's just an astonishingly good book, and I don't hardly ever take time to read a 1,000-page novel. But I decided to do that before I start writing my own book next month or so. I like to read really great writings. I decided to write this now. It's taken me, 2.5 weeks or so of almost full time just to read this book. It's very time consuming. But never once do I ever say to myself, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be taking time to read a novel when you've got a book of your own to write, and you could be out there and you could be making money over here, and what about this? And then your kids are coming, and what about... I don't do that. I never did that in my life, Eric. I just said, this is what I'm doing, and this is where I am today, and if I've got 6 different books that I'm reading or different projects going, I say to myself, this is God talking to me. It's allowing me to experiment over here, to try this, to check this out. And instead of being so hard on myself and telling myself I shouldn't be doing that, give yourself permission to say, this is just part of my experimentation, because the purpose of life isn't to make your mark. Those were your words. You don't have a mark to make. The purpose of life is to enjoy it. Just that every creature on the planet knows that except us, and we get all mixed up. We have a dharma, like that fish that I'm talking about has a dharma, like the mosquito, like the rose, like everything has a dharma, and just allow yourself to be carried by it and flow with it, and stop being so hard on yourself. And you might have 20 different things going at one time, which I've had a big part of my life. I'm often writing a book and reading a book and and thinking about a speech and dealing with this in a relationship over here and dealing with that financial matter over there. And all of it, I just say, this is just who I am. And this is, I let myself be carried by the great Tao. Stop being so hard on yourself. You don't have a mark to make. You've already made your mark. You're 44 years old. You're a beautiful man. And, the only thing you have to do is enjoy every day that you have. Okay?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. God bless you, my friend. Namaste. Dale Carnegie once said that man is not made to understand life, but to live it. And Helen Keller had this wonderful observation. I've had it on my desk for a long time. I wanted to say it on the radio show. She said, now Helen Keller was blind and deaf and, she couldn't speak, and she had endless sort of physical incapacities. She said, I trust, and nothing that happens disturbs my trust. I recognize the beneficence of the power which we all worship as supreme. Order, fate, the great spirit, nature, God. I recognize this power in the sun that makes all things grow and keeps life afoot. I make a friend of this indefinable force, and straightway I feel glad, brave, and ready for any lot heaven may decree for me. This is my religion. I just love that. Yeah, because I've often said, you've heard it said a million times, the kingdom of heaven is within. You've heard that many times, right?
Sure.
The kingdom of heaven is within. But you know what? The kingdom of hell is within, too.
That's true. Very true.
And, if your life has got some kind of hell involved in it, that's something that comes from inside you as well. So gratitude is something that you can really practice a lot. I mean, you can practice gratitude for the sun, for the moon, for the flowers, for the for the air you're breathing, for the people in your life, for endless kinds of things. As that quote I gave earlier from Epictetus, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. To be in a state of just rejoicing for what you have. And I used to give, when I would lecturing more, I would talk about, think about things like you never think about that, like think about your liver. Or think about your eye, or think about your arm, or your spleen, or your heart. These things that without, if you didn't have them, if your liver decides to stop functioning for, in 10 minutes, you're going to be dead. So here's this thing that's inside of you, this heart that just keeps beating and beating, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. And we just sort of take it for granted. Oh, yeah, that's my heart. But I mean, you can go into a state of just being in such a state of gratitude. My God, there's this thing inside of me that just beats every single day. And without it, I couldn't even breathe.